see if we get. I usually have a few people. We got test out live stream. YouTube. All right. Now, tune in, subscribe, and holler back at me. So, how can I tell? Will it show up on there when somebody join, or how we tell on that?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it did before.
Cool.
Remember, we could see her, but we could see that she was there, but we couldn't see her.
Yep. Broadcasting live from the Black Art in America studio. Or is it it's the Black Art in America headquarters and Najee Dorsey studio. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Anyway, it's been a lot going on. Won't you? I don't know. You got anything? You been got anything you been wanna ask your brother Ravens? Maybe you could be. Maybe you could be. You could pose my first question while we wait on see who may tune in or may not.
Um, why don't you talk about the last couple of shows?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
And
cool.
I'll just figure out some other stuff.
I could do that. The does this record? I mean, like, does this save the streaming? It does. Cool. All right. So hey, everybody, it's Najee. I'm testing out the live broadcasting capabilities on YouTube here at the Black Art in America headquarters and Future Najee Dorsey Studios. We ended up getting this great space a month ago now because we're growing, and I've got a big commission coming up. Hadn't shared that publicly yet, but you guys are the first to know that I'm being commissioned by the Military Library and Library Systems here in Columbus, Georgia, to create what will be my largest project to date, of 8 foot by 40 foot mural that I'm hoping to unveil the first of the year. But one of the things I think it'll be pretty cool to talk about right at this moment is maybe some of the last shows that we've done. We 2 weeks, was it 2 weeks or 3 weeks removed from doing the Spiral Now, um, 55 years later, new artist familiar struggle show at in conjunction with the March on Washington Film Festival. It was fantastic. Had a great turnout, particularly when we had the talks on Saturday. Had a lot of collectors come out, a number of artists that came out as well, and we had panel discussions with the artists. We had Claudia Gibson Hanna, Aziza. We had Michael McCoy, Lavette Ballard, and yours truly, moderated by Ayana Nauma. I know I'm butchering your last name, Ayana. You got to forgive me. I'm not good with that one. And then we also had a talk with Jim Nixon, who's a tremendous supporter of Black Art in America and an avid collector, and he's focusing on building a collection of African American women artists. And while he's got some pieces by a number of noted artists of the past, he's really focusing on today's contemporary artists, which is a great thing because it's a cycle. We're part of a continuum, and we're working in the present, tackling issues of today, relevant topics, and it's needed more than ever. The other thing is we've got, like, this past weekend we just got back from doing the MIA show at the Buffalo Soldiers National Museum. That was phenomenal. MIA, military inspired art. The Buffalo Soldiers Museum is a great partner. Um, let's see, I got a text. Is somebody tuning in or somebody just texting me out the blue? Okay. I had something out of the blue. May have a interview coming in from my man Farron Manuel, former assistant editor that's now working at the High Museum, and Farron is going to join us on the project for the Black Art in America Fine Art Show, Philadelphia, September 14th through the 16th. But anyway, getting back to the MIA show, tremendous turnout. We just posted um, uh, a bio talk with Ted Ellis doing his lecture on 12 noted African American artists. I mean, like the who's who. I mean, you're talking about Bearden and Jake and Huey Lee Smith, Ed Clark, Reginald Gammon. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Ted did a tremendous job giving that talk. Tune in to Black Art in America right now and listen to that podcast. Frank Frazier. I mean, it just goes on and on. To see the love that Ted showed and that, the feeling I get with being around Frank, who for those of us in the trenches, know the sacrifice and the commitment that he's given to the culture, African American art. His projects with the Tom Joyner Foundation is raising money for scholarships for kids at HBCUs, to the African American Museum in Dallas and his show, the Southwest Black Fine Art Show. I mean, there's a number of artists that's doing tremendous work all around the country, and many don't necessarily get their due. But that's one of the things that we aim to do with Black Art in America, is kind of shine a light in some areas where you generally don't get the light shine, because it's limited media, and a lot of times people want to cover what's deemed to be the creme de la creme, or what's at the top. Where we like to go a little deeper and share these real stories of people who are putting in work and rolling up their sleeves and making a tremendous impact on community, on culture, and we want to share those stories. The So getting back to the Buffalo Soldiers Museum show, MIA, that we did, I learned a lot. I must admit, I would say, I don't know if this is politically correct, but it's truthful. It's who I am. I'm gonna tell it like it is. I'm probably more of a nationalist, in the sense that, um, I'm concerned about, primarily about Black community, about Black culture, because it's what I know, is what I love most. I mean, and I'm happy to be an American, and many of the rights and privileges that come with that, and some that they're supposed to come with it that don't. But listening to these veterans and hearing their stories, going to war, going to combat, coming back to this country, and making their way through art, through their community. I mean, it was heartwarming, man. I mean, to hear these stories and the impact and the legacy that they're looking to leave behind. I mean, I learned a lot. I mean, I gained a whole nother respect for the sacrifice of our military veterans. I must admit, never really thought much about it, but after hearing their stories and some of the things that they have to deal with coming back from these situations, and still continue to find the joy and the passion through art, and to make differences in their community, it was a tremendous event. I mean, I must admit, it's still touching my spirit right now, and just remembering, the stories of Bill Washington and Glenn Towery and Sergeant, Chris and Frank, and man, we had Mr. James Brown, who was 92 years old in the show, who was in World War II, all the way down to work that was represented by Diamond Gas, who's 27 years old. And so, to see the spectrum of artists and work that was presented at that show, at that beautiful venue in Houston at the Buffalo Soldiers National Museum, was fantastic. Um, I don't know. So anyway, another thing is we're getting ready for Philadelphia, the Black Art in America Fine Art Show, Philadelphia, September 14th through the 16th at the Belmont Mansion. Want you to join us. We got a number of collectors coming in. If you haven't seen the programming and lineup for the list of art that we're going to be showing, or the programs, you got to check it out. Go to the homepage of Black Art in America. Look for the graphic on the right hand side promoting the Philadelphia show. It should be at the very top. And take a look at that. You're going to want to be at this show. Tremendous amount of art programming. I'm hearing from collectors around the country that's coming. I mean, from Chicago to Texas and Atlanta, and Arkansas and Kansas City, and DC, the whole surrounding area of that DC, New York, New Jersey area. They're going to be in the house. It's going to be, hey, I put this show up against any of the shows that we've done, or any of the shows that's taking place in the last number of years. We bring it when we come to do a fine art show, and people really enjoy the work that we do. Working on a few key elements that I can't disclose right now, in terms of we may have a special guest that everybody is going to know, that's kind of been in the game for a minute, and we're definitely going to want to connect with. So more later with that. What we're doing right now, again, is testing out the live streaming capabilities for content that we generally do monthly with the people who support Black Art in America, our Patreon monthly supporters. And you could be a supporter as well. We have levels as low as $3 all the way up 3, 10, 25, 50, and 100. At the $50 level, we actually list you as a producer on the video programs that we do. If you look at the last recap video, you'll see Mason Archie's name there and Jim Nixon's name there, and that content is available due in part to the support that we're getting from our patrons. So we're looking to grow that list. We're looking if you like the programming and the things that we do through Black Art in America, be sure to visit the homepage of Black Art in America and look for the educational resources tab and support if you can. Again, a little goes a long way. Anyway, we got it.
Colo Co says hi.
Who?
Colo Co. I'm not sure who that is.
Colo Co?
Mm-hmm.
I can't see it, but what's up, man? Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. I don't know how long you've been checking us out, how long you've been following us, but appreciate that. We're in our beautiful space. You can see a little art back there. You see the Elizabeth Catlett and one of my pieces. I give you, turn it around a little bit so you can see. We got this beautiful Richard Yard that we're going to showcase at the show in September. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I mean, if you got any questions, we'd love to pitch or field any questions that you may have. What part of the country are you coming from? What's up?
They're gone now. Let's switch over and try the chat part out.
Okay,
I'm
go
going
ahead.
to end this, and then we'll try chat, and you can send out a new link.
All right, cool.
That way you can see people's faces and hear them. So I think there were 5 different people.